I've been to 5 different weight classes, and I fought the best in my era. The key punch in boxing is the jab.
Hold me back. You fucking
Terence Crawford is pulling out all the stops in preparation for his highly anticipated fight against Canelo Alvarez. To address his weight disadvantage, Crawford has not only introduced new training techniques, but has also added a new trainer to his team. The focus is on specific workout methods aimed at building strength and size to level the playing field when he steps into the ring with Alvarez.
I think, I take more chances, right now. But earlier in his career, he was taking a lot of chances as well. So,
At a lighter moment, Crawford even had a fun sparring session with Floyd Mayweather, where the two tested their skills in the ring. This comes as part of Crawford's mini-training camp, which kicked off shortly after he recovered from an injury. The undefeated world champion has already made an impressive start, incorporating innovative training methods and weight-building exercises to ensure he's physically prepared for the challenge. With his sights set on September, Crawford is ramping up his intensity to close the size gap.
which Floyd Mayweather you talk about? Do you talk about money or do you talk about Pretty Boy? Because Pretty Boy was the seek and destroy.
And meet Alvarez on more equal footing. Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather Jr. share notable similarities, but fans often compare their skills to determine who reigns supreme. Recently, a new analysis favored Crawford as the likely winner in a hypothetical matchup. However, when it comes to pure boxing ability, few can rival Mayweather's mastery of the sweet science. His defensive brilliance and tactical genius have solidified his legacy, making him a benchmark for excellence in boxing. The debate continues. Both fighters are undeniably elite. Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence Crawford represent two of the most brilliant boxing minds of their respective eras. Mayweather, a 5-division world champion with an undefeated record, is widely regarded as one of the greatest defensive fighters in the sport's history. Meanwhile, Crawford, who has earned undisputed titles in 2 weight classes, continues to solidify his legacy with his explosive style and relentless adaptability in the Comparing these two legends isn't easy, but their distinct styles and accomplishments make for a fascinating discussion. Mayweather built his career on precision, timing, and counterpunching. His jab, often described as surgical, was a tool he used to disrupt opponents' rhythm and dictate the pace of fights. Whether it was Pretty Boy Floyd, the younger, more aggressive version of himself, or Money Mayweather, the calculated defensive master, his ability to read and adapt to any opponent was unparalleled.
5, 4, 5. There you go.
Pretty Boy Floyd brought the fight to his challengers, displaying hand speed, power, and relentless combinations. As Money Mayweather, he perfected the art of defense, lulling opponents into his trap before systematically dismantling them. His mantra of hit and not get hit was his hallmarks, cementing his place in the Hall of Fame as an undefeated legend. Crawford, on the other hand, has carved out a reputation as one of the most versatile fighters in boxing today. Known for his ability to switch stances effortlessly and deliver power from any angle, Crawford's adaptability has made him a nightmare for opponents. His recent dismantling of Errol Spence Jr., a top-tier fighter in his prime, showcased his precision and dominance. Crawford repeatedly broke through Spence's guard with power jabs, timed his counterpunches perfectly, and used his slashing angles to devastating effect. It wasn't the first time Crawford displayed such mastery, but against an opponent of Spence's caliber, it was a performance that left fans and analysts in awe. When comparing these two fighters, one of the most intriguing questions is how their styles would stack up against each other in a hypothetical matchup. Mayweather's disciplined sweet science would clash with Crawford's explosive precision. Both fighters excel in counterpunching, but their approaches differ significantly. Mayweather's counters are rooted in his ability to anticipate and exploit openings, while Crawford's are more dynamic, often delivered with power and from unconventional angles. A key area of comparison is their use of the jab. Mayweather's jab was not just a scoring tool, but a weapon to control the fight's tempo. It allowed him to keep opponents at bay and set up his counters. Crawford, however, uses his jab as a power shot, capable of snapping an opponent's head back and breaking down their defense. In his fight against Spence, Crawford's jab was a game-changer, repeatedly piercing through Spence's high guard and setting up his combinations. Another point of comparison is their ring IQ. Mayweather's ability to analyze his opponents in real time and adjust his strategy mid-fight was second to none. He often spent the early rounds gathering data, allowing his opponents to feel they were in control before turning the tide with a calculated blueprint. Crawford has shown similar traits throughout his career, using his high ring IQ to dissect opponents and exploit their weaknesses. His ability to adapt, switch stances, and adjust his approach mid-fight has made him one of the most unpredictable fighters in the sport. While both fighters excel in defense, their styles differ. Mayweather's shoulder roll and impeccable footwork made him nearly untouchable in his prime. He was a master at slipping punches and countering with precision, frustrating even the most aggressive opponents. Crawford's defense, while not as flashy, is equally effective. His footwork and head movement allow him to evade punches, while his ability to switch stances adds another layer of complexity for his opponents to navigate. The mental aspect of the sport is another area where both fighters shine. Mayweather thrived under the pressure of massive pay-per-view events and high-stakes matchups, using his confidence and mental fortitude to outsmart his opponents. Crawford, too, has shown incredible mental toughness, especially in his ability to rise to the occasion in the biggest fights of his career. His composure and focus in the ring are key factors in his success. Despite their similarities, there are also significant differences in their resumes. Mayweather faced a wide range of styles throughout his career, from slick boxers like Zab Judah to heavy hitters like Canelo Alvarez. His ability to adapt and dominate against such a diverse array of opponents speaks to his greatness. Crawford, while undefeated and highly accomplished, has faced criticism for the quality of his opposition earlier in his career. However, his recent victories, particularly against Spence, have silenced many of those doubts and solidified his status as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. In terms of legacy, Mayweather's undefeated record and his ability to generate massive pay-per-view numbers have made him a global icon. Crawford, though not as commercially successful, has achieved historic milestones, including becoming the first male fighter to hold undisputed titles in 2 weight classes in the 4-belt era. Both fighters have left an indelible mark on the sport, albeit in different ways. So who would win in a prime matchup between Mayweather and Crawford? The answer is far from straightforward. Mayweather's defensive brilliance and ability